Hello, you beautiful legends, and welcome to Blunt Force Healing Podcast. This is episode number 852. And as the title suggests, the only and main highlight of today's episode will be FPV training, which, for those of you that don't know what FPV means, is the first person view. It's that kind of abbreviation is used in different disciplines and for different reasons, but FPV and drones means basically a specific type of drones where you use the goggles that provide or feed your vision with whatever camera sees on the drone. So basically, you have first person perspective of a drone as it flies, which is very different to other types of drones where you can either see it on the screen of your phone or controller. So your eyes are basically drone's eyes. And another difference for FPV drones is that in most cases they are designed to be learned and to be controlled in manual mode, which has a couple of drawbacks in terms of a regular drone use. So it is said that FPV drones are the top level, or I would say the highest demanding in terms of skill, and some people even go as far as they say that you only can say that you can fly a drone when you master the FPV drones in manual mode. So the basically difference is that about 95% of drones out there on the market and that people use are drones that not only can hover and stop mid-air, and they will wait for the input. So if you stop using the controller, the drone just basically stops and hovers as long as it has battery. And the other difference is that those drones are stabilized, so mid-air they can only, move or skew or, just handle a certain angle until they just basically level up. So you will never turn them upside down, for example, or you can't do a barrel or whatever you want to do. So that's made for a couple of reasons. First of all, they are not FPV drones, they are not racing drones, so they don't need to have the ability to go beyond certain angle, or they just need to balance the wind, but the camera is the key reason why other drones are being used. So it's all for stable and decent quality image. And in FPV scenario, in manual mode, drone basically is very difficult to control, because if you stop using the controller, it's almost like the drone wants to crash. It basically won't stay midair, it will go down. It will just nosedive. So it is very important to understand and train in first assisted mode and then in manual mode to understand and know how to control it. And it has no limits in terms of turns sideways or upside down, and that gives those drones the edge of doing different acrobatics that others or majority of drones can't, other than FPV. So I have bought an Avatar 2 some time ago, and we only tested it twice. Once just in front of the house to lift it up and down and just to see how it works. And then once at the beach, Julian tried it in beginner mode, and we didn't know anything about it. We didn't even know how to lift off, and once we managed, it was very clumsy and slow flight. And then we didn't know how to put it down. So I thought about the trick that a lot of users of Avatar do. They just wait until it hovers on a decent level and they just grab it by the top and quickly flip it out upside down, which basically turns or cuts the motors off and thus basically turns it off. And that was very unfortunate because I grabbed it probably clumsily, or it kind of tried to stabilize itself when I didn't do it fast enough, and it hit my, I think it was pointer finger with one of the blades. And even though they have like the propeller guards, the propeller hit my fingers and it cut it really badly. So I was bleeding a lot. I had to leave it for a while to heal, a couple of days or even weeks, or maybe not weeks, but it might have been about 2 weeks before it was fully healed. So that was it, really. And this episode is basically about my first solo dedicated attempt at learning first flight with Avatar 2, obviously in assisted mode. I quit beginner mode, which limits everything a lot. Went to beginner, to the beginner mode. No, sorry, how do you call it? Assisted mode or something like that. And used the controller, the motion controller, and then the other kind of pro controller. And did some footage that I will add at the end of this video so you can see for yourself how it looks. The view, the camera is basically horizontally following the angle at which drone is turning and flying, while it stabilizes the vertical position. So it's very different from the drone that I usually have with me, Air 3S, but again, it's different. So yeah, today we went at Murva Beach, and we basically, my wife went for a walk, and I just sat down. It was very quiet and nice. It was a bit windy, so Avatar was struggling a little bit with the wind, but regardless, I learned a little bit of takeoff, landing, and some flight in assisted mode. It was a great experience. But as I say, this drone or this type of flight requires dedicated time and preparation. It's not as easy to deploy the drone like it is with Avatar 3. The Air 3S or the DJI Neo, which is a palm start type of drone for bloggers, and it can be used or operated with in the headless mode. Yeah, that's long enough. Let me just stitch the footage from the training or my first flight with Avatar 2, first proper flight. Thank you very much for tuning in. Have a great rest of the day or afternoon or evening, wherever you are on this beautiful planet. Stay tuned and see you again tomorrow.
I'm taking over my body, back in control, no more shoddy. I bet a lot of me was lost, T's and crossing I's and dotted. I fought it a lot and